My
recognized.
pleasure to you. 1 minute to the gentleman from Tennessee, Mr. Cohen.
Gentleman from Tennessee is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in strong support of this legislation because it will mean jobs in Memphis and make Russia, which is potentially our most important bilateral relationship, a stronger one. But also rise as a co-sponsor of the Magnitsky Rule of Law, Accountability Act. We must hold Magnitsky's killers accountable as well as others who have been responsible for human rights abuses in Russia. I'm particularly concerned about the case of an all-women's punk rock band that staged an unauthorized concert in a church to protest President Putin. They were arrested and charged with hooliganism motivated by religious hatred. They were sentenced subject to a trial that was a little more than a farce. They were not allowed to testify and weren't allowed to testimony for witnesses on their side. They were sentenced to 2 years prison sentence in a penal colony far away from their families and far away from Moscow. I recently met with their legal team and the husband of one of their members, and I found their story troubling. They're the latest victims of Russia's government's brutal crackdown on dissent, and responsible for the miscarriage of justice should be held accountable, which is why this bill is important. The band was prevented from exercising First Amendment rights and also a fair trial. This is the sort of victims, if I can have 15 more seconds.
You have 15 seconds.
Thank you. These are exactly the sorts of victims contemplated in this legislation. I hope the State Department will give strong consideration of their case when compiling the list called for legislation. Russia should be a partner and a friend, but we cannot stand by with these abuses. I thank Mr. Levin, and I also want to thank the head of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Mr. Berman, a mensch and a great congressman. I urge my colleagues to support this legislation.
Gentleman's time has expired.